This is Anne-Marie and Tim
How you doing?
from Dialysis Diaries. We just want to welcome you on Saturday, June 27th. And it's kind of a crappy day out, not too bad, but we decided since we're both feeling up for it today, we might as well get a podcast in while we can. And yeah, because recently a lot's been going on with me and Tim both. And let us, you dialysis warriors, let us know if this has been happening to you. We haven't been sure if it's like because of the weather or the planets or like, or just.
Or the aliens getting us.
Or the aliens getting us, yeah. One of the three. Or multiple other things that's happening. Or the war, or who knows? We don't know what they're putting in our food, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know any of that right now. So, but we've been so exhausted after dialysis to the point where we're sleeping like almost 24 hours.
Yes.
Like, no exaggeration.
That happened to me, like it was Monday, went to dialysis, came home, I eat something, and she said,
that's why I was so worried that way. When you weren't texting me, I get so worried when Tim doesn't text me.
Because I end up, like, I came home, I ate what you said, but then I go to sleep, and when I go to sleep, it's a roll of the dice. It's either I'm going to wake up 4 or 5 o'clock, that's a good day.
Yep.
That's a good day. But if it's bad times, I wake up 5 or 6 o'clock the next morning.
In the morning, not even like that night.
It's like a 24-hour sleep period, you know, and like we were talking about this before, like if you guys out there experience something like that, that's normal, par for the course, you know. I mean, between me and Anne-Marie, I believe we're going on 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going on 5 years, you know, the separation of the two, like we're both experiencing things new at the same time.
You know what I thought about too, I just thought about it. We've never kept track of the seasons.
Yes.
Of what we go through. We're gonna have to start doing that. And maybe you guys should start doing it too. Because like we want your feedback. Like is this like something that happens in the summer with dialysis patients? Like we're not 100% sure, so please give us your feedback.
Yeah, you're like 100 acres. I know there's a difference between the winter and summer.
Yeah.
You know, wintertime, I hate going to dialysis because you deal with the cold and the dialysis.
And it's cold in the building.
Yeah,
oh my
it's cold
God.
up. You're like, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot get rid of the chill.
I had to wear a sweatshirt on Friday.
Yeah.
And it was 90 degrees out.
It looks like polar bears walking in the middle of it. They're like looking at us. What the fuck is it's just, I can't get rid of that chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Well, I know anemia is a big part of dialysis.
Yeah.
Which is low iron, which I know I have. Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's something I wanted to mention to you too is Jeff told me about this. Like, I was explaining to him how I was tired all the time, like how like I would come home and eat and fall asleep, and he was telling me that he's like, did they happen to give you iron that day? I was like, yeah, they give me iron in the machine. He's like, that's it. You know what I mean? It's the iron that knocks you out. Because what happens is your body goes into super recovery mode because they give you iron at the end of your session. So when you go home, you're coming down, your body's already trying to recover from
So should we
dialysis.
put on it in the beginning of our session?
No, he said that's part for the course because they didn't want to.
Okay.
But that's what saves us from going to get what do you call it? Like blood giving transfusions and all that stuff.
Okay.
And that's what helps us a lot on that. You know, and I didn't know about it until like Jeff told me the other day. So, you know, Jeff, thank you. Shout out, please, if you're listening. And I told Anne-Marie about the book. You know, thank you for that.
I'm so excited.
You know, I was telling her everything. You sent her all the messages. And she's on Facebook now too.
I am gonna message you soon, Jeff. So
yeah, like
I'm still getting into the Facebook group again. So
you know, I told her all the time about how much you helped out a lot and about your foundation. But like sometimes it takes a person like that to get the answers I'm looking for.
right,
You know, 'cause
exactly.
these nurses and techs, they're great people. They do their job. When it comes to information, type like they are.
And they also, we have to keep in mind, they work for Big Pharma. So if they don't tell us a certain thing that Big Pharma is telling them to tell us, they can get in trouble for it though. So it's like another catch-22.
And it's like even with like nephrologists sometimes, sometimes too. It's like, you know, I feel sometimes we just get yes to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, because our big, great white hope is one day, like dialysis, we can get off dialysis just by our kidneys kicking back. or
Well,
something
there's
like that.
there's this girl I follow on TikTok. She's a dialysis patient, and like whenever she explains to like the doctors, like I'm hurting, I'm in a 10 out of 10 pain. She's like, they're like, well, you don't look like you're in pain, and so she made shirts that say, I'm sick, not ugly, which makes sense though, because
Yeah.
a lot of pretty girls are on dialysis, including me myself. Like, I'm not saying I'm confident, like super, like, oh my god, I'm drop dead gorgeous. Like, I know I'm cute though, like, and I know I'm good looking, but like, I am sick. Like,
And that is,
and just because we're not unattractive doesn't mean we're not sick.
yeah.
So I really like that girl's shirt. I might buy one, honestly.
And like, you just saying that right now, like, I have to admit, like, from what I've seen, like, from TikTok and Facebook, there's a lot of young women out there.
There is. There's more than I thought.
Yeah, like, I didn't think this, like, you know, this dialysis touched as many people, you know, as I thought it would.
Especially
Like,
youngsters.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
what
you
I
were
learned.
explaining to me about there's one nursing home in all of Monmouth County
Yeah.
that takes in specifically renal patients, and a lot of them are young ones.
Yeah.
And me and Tim were both thinking about looking into that one. So
Yeah, just to help the transition to eventually get back out there.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
To help set it up, I mean, it's just, because as far as like nursing home goes, like, I'm done with it, you know,
Yeah.
I wanna go home.
both of us too.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, I'm not ready for it, put me back in here in another 40 years from now, you know,
Right.
it's time to go in. You know, it's time to go in, I'll go in, but now it's like, I want out, you know, and I don't even argue.
We're too young to be in nursing homes
Yeah.
right now. Me and Tim both.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but it's what this disease is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like being in part.
And we do accept it, but to a certain extent. Like, we can take care of ourselves outside of here. Well, granted, would we need help? Absolutely. But that's why we have people who are willing to help us, or even nurses with our Medicaid, you know what I mean?
You know, 'cause that's the biggest thing I was telling Marie this week too that I'm scared of is I want out right away at all costs. I want to get out in my own place. But then again, I think in my head, I'm like, I want my own place again. I say I have a bad dialysis day, and it's like I come home and I
Like, you
see-
wake up in a sweat.
Yeah, wake up in a sweat. At least I can holler for somebody to come help me. You know, like.
Or you can get a life away, though.
Well, yeah, but then like you're waiting for somebody.
You're right.
And
That
it's
makes
like,
sense, yeah.
You know, but it's like, you know, it's the instant help that I can see that's really helping. And then like, you know, where it really put a lot of strain on my family. It's like before I came here, it's like my wife and my daughter were my nurses. You know, I mean, they're the one calling me here. I refuse to put them through that again. You know, but that's why like there's gotta be a better way. Like we were talking about, you and your fiance and me share a place. And like that's gotta be helpful somehow.
Right,
You know,
right,
because
yeah.
just the transportation, just to handle everything in one shot. You know, I think that's something that like you know, talk about it. Somebody's gotta be doing that out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's just too much restraint. You know, and you know.
And even if they're not doing something about it, like maybe we can get this in the right direction of leading to something like that. Or maybe even us eventually having something to do with an open organization like that.
Because
You know
they
what
have
I
halfway
mean?
houses for NA, Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, we should have some kind of halfway houses for people like us. You know,
Yeah, well,
where
like
it's
even not just renal failure, like kidney, chemo, dementia, you know, memory training, like all that type of stuff. Like they should be having stuff like this.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's that right thing would be a huge helpful part down the line, you know what I mean? Like,
Not just for us, but for the family members, you know, like everybody, the friends of them, of the
because
family.
it's very stressful.
It is.
It's very traumatic, you know what I mean? That's the part that
Right.
really tears the family down, just being like traumatic and like all the events you go through. But like I understand why I'm here. I don't regret that. You know, it did help me for what I needed to get done.
Right.
Like, you know, because like, we all go through something a little bit. Like Anne-Marie, like you were going through, like your fissure was bothering you,
Yeah.
that you had to get that fixed. With me, it's like I go through infections like crazy.
Yeah.
On my feet, on my legs, and that's like, you know, they say that happens, you know, with diabetes especially. That's my battle. I'm trying to do everything I can not to lose my legs, you know, not to get stuck in a chair. Like I walk like crazy, you know, just so like I refuse to get stuck in a chair because that's when it all starts to fall downhill.
Right.
You know, like, you know, to me that's why I focus on a lot of walking and stuff, you know, as much as I can. Drive people nuts with it, but you know.
That's what I'm gonna start doing too, is taking walks, like at least once a day to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
You know, it'd be good. Like, you know, it'd be like you get motivated though. You know, that's
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
best things to deal with.
and you get stronger.
Yeah.
Especially me learning how to walk again, like from being in that coma that I explained to you guys in my Welcome In episode. I explained how I was in a coma for a month, and when I woke up I couldn't walk, so I still get a little wobbly, and now I'm on this new thing where actually with all my healthy decisions I've been working, they were able to drop me from 5 blood pressure meds to 2.
That's good.
Which is, the less medication you're on is better for your kidneys. So that is phenomenal that I've gotten to this point, and just growth from here. So the stronger I get, the better it'll work.
Yeah, like haven't you like don't you have like you have a real good regimen going on now between like you know taking tea,
Yeah.
vitamins, and like you just see like everything with you is a lot better.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm taking not bad before, but you know, but more alive.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how it is, like you get down sick. And when you were sick for a while, you can really tell you were sick. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't push podcasts or anything, you know, got better to where you are now. So
Yeah.
now you become like, be more involved. But, you know, it's like everything is tenfold. It's like I remember like when I had the flu, instead of that 1 week long of being sick and then you're good, I was sick for 2 months.
Yeah.
With a month hospital stay.
And
in
being
between.
on the compromised immune system, if we could stay sick for longer.
Yes, yes. And it's worse. It's longer and it's worse.
Worse, yep.
That's why I dread it. Like I know they say you should have an orange because sure I had an orange every day during the flu season. You know, I wasn't risking it. You know, I
Yeah.
get high blood pressure. You know, blood sugars that get that flu, especially being in here. Like you're
Yeah.
right. You know, there's definitely a lot of germs floating around here, and they're not exactly watching their hands when they touch
Or
your food.
covering their mouths or
Yeah.
any of that.
Yeah.
That's why I had to get my roommate kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't covering her mouth or washing her hands when she went to bed. I cannot be around that.
And I think like us being dialysis patients, I think we like in a facility like this, we can recommend that.
Well, technically,
Plus that.
we're not supposed to have 2 diabetics in the same room, and they had 2 diabetics.
Okay.
Me and my roommate were both diabetics. And I didn't know that until I asked for this woman, Sherry, to be my roommate. They said, no, you can't have 2 diabetics. I said, what do you mean? My last roommate was a diabetic.
Yeah, what they say then?
They were like, yeah, of course.
I don't want to go bad on here, but you know, there's been a lot of stuff that like I've experienced since being here that you know just turn the other cheek on.
And it's like infidelity, whatever the word is. But, like, they shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
Like, they took away the microwaves at my facility.
that was crazy.
Yeah, because all my microwave food I had to give to Tim because I couldn't use it.
Like they took away from the facility, not just her independent microwave.
Yeah.
It's like for everybody in the facility can't use it no more. And that's what I think. I mean,
They wouldn't allow me to have a mini fridge. Meanwhile, there's
Yeah.
like 12 people up where my rooms are with refrigerators. And I needed it for my apple juice in case I get low blood sugar. Like, I need it for a reason.
Yeah, and I think it's like we also need to, because like, you know, I know since I've been here, like I had to store my own food. I guess you get whatever it's at dietary, but I mean, some of these meals are worse than prison.
They are.
You know what I mean? It's just,
I don't eat the food at my nursing home.
Yeah, you buy all your own food.
I buy all my own food every week.
And that's like another good blessing that you have with
Thank
Chris. You know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Chris, thank goodness for my boyfriend Chris. He takes me and get my healthy foods that are kidney friendly. Because they say renal diet on my ticket but it's not a renal diet at all.
That's not your diabetic diet.
It's not even a diabetic diet.
And just to say, Jeff. Jeff is a very, very big believer in like the caretaker.
Okay.
The unseen person.
Right.
It's like the extra furniture in the room. Like a person when he's talking with the doctor, and he thinks they should be very, very much more involved.
Yeah, that's why every appointment I have, my nursing home welcomed my boyfriend Chris to come to every doctor's appointment with me, and he does come to them with me.
That's awesome. You know, that's something that's.
And it's very appreciative because it's nice to have somebody like that.
It's a big help. It's a big relief. You know what I mean? It's like ever since like we first met, we've always talked about like he's been there for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like what I'm going through. Where like right now I don't really have that yet, but I can see like how much difference it is from as it used to.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? Like helping each other out. You know, that's a big part. You know what I mean? It's like my situation is just it's kind of like messed up, but you know, it's like the new American story now. The wars,